Hey everyone, welcome to Opal Oracle. Anyone who's new, anyone returning, hi. Alright, Aquarius, this is going to be your mid-month reading. I have a quick announcement and then we'll get right into it. Let me flip over your cards so we can. Good. Great. Okay, now, quickly. Those of you returning, you know that Azumi ate rat poison. She almost died. It was petrifying, okay? My computer also died during that time, as well as the hawk and a family member. Seemingly, I just had to go through that. Challenging as it may be, here I am, here you are. Thank you for being here. Now, luckily, because I need that computer as a tool, Saturn, to keep this process going, thank the heavens, a person that I know let me borrow an old broken laptop keys or whatever. It works though, you know. And the thing is I knew I needed one, and I thought I would have it a bit longer, but my time frame has shortened a bit. So, because of that, I'm basically here to ask you for help. Now, I know everything will work out as it's supposed to. I found a computer that's like $200. So anyone who donates anything, I will send you an art card, okay, if you're open to giving me your address, okay? Anyone who donates $50 or more, I figure that's 4 people, you know, or 8 people at $25, then I can get this computer, and I think it will hook up to my camera. I have to do a little more research, but that's pretty much the lowest I could find so that this process can continue. And any of you who do donate 50 or more, I will give you an hour reading for that donation, okay? I know that's a lot of money. Not well to do myself, or obviously I would just buy myself a computer, but I just don't want there to be this gap in between, okay? I want there to be this connection to continue, okay? I want the process of this to be really natural, okay? So, thank you for listening to that. Get right into your reading. My notebook just opened up to the magnetic pulse reading that I did, which I believe, I guess you could look it up in that way. They're labeled that way, entitled rather. But that magnetic pulse would be important. I believe it was in February. Okay, there's a message in there that has to do with now. It makes sense. March, April, about 2 months, sure. Okay. Now, you have 3 major arcana. That's the Empress. It's about growth. Okay, it's about the feminine. So this is the sort of the undercurrent of the situation is the Empress. She also is ruled by Venus, which rules Taurus, and these 2 cards actually are ruled by Taurus, okay, and Venus, of course. Taurus being the 2nd house of resources of the material world. Resources being externally, right? Money, whatever, the physical, but also your inner resources of self, okay? How good you feel about yourself. How empowered you feel. And what's really beautiful is during this time, I see that you actually really know, you're coming to really know who you are. Okay, and how powerful you can be, you know, and not in an external extension of that, but just knowing your own, again, yourself, knowing that you have the ability to handle the situation, to have faith in the situation, okay? It's just 444. It's interesting, ego actually wants you to open your heart. It's fascinating. Usually the ego is against, but for some reason, it seems that your inner child is gaining more faith, okay, or teaching you about faith. Teaching you about, again, who you are, you know, what you stand for, and how that's, again, not something where it's like, this is my, you know, in a aggressive way, but just in a way that says, I know what my boundaries are. And it's important right now to know what those boundaries are, okay? Because there's something that has been being mulled over for a while, right? I heard 8 years, and then I heard 8 weeks. So those are just time frames to kind of go over, think about what's happened in those since then, or when that was happening, and what you've learned about faith since then, okay, during that time. What did you learn about that? Because whatever has been being mulled over, if you will, that's what I keep hearing, it's like in the upside down world. I love that saying. In the upside down world, what's happening there, right? In the subconscious, if you will, is sort of you're kind of afraid of love a little. Okay? You're afraid of really being vulnerable with another person, intimately speaking. Okay, that and a lot of people have had this during this time. It may be because it's spring and like there's a rejuvenation, and with all the retrogrades and things, but where you sort of go back and forth, like, am I making the right decision? Am I making the right decision? But that goes back to the mulling over. It's already been being mulled over, and at this point in time, your present self is just like, inner child. It's like you're actually having a conversation with your inner child. Okay, it's important, and that's really good. You are figuring out that I see also your present self. So your inner child wants to rush you a little bit, okay, in some sort of way, like, because again, it's already been mulled over. The decision, in a sense, has already been decided. But say this king, this emperor, right, wanted to buy more land. Well, you have to figure out where that land is, who owns the land, does anybody, you know, how do you achieve what it is that you want? And through that process, it takes time, right? There's time in between here. So your inner child is kind of like, I'm hungry, I want it right now, in a sense. And that's good, because what it's doing is causing you to open up and being able to express what it is that you really want. Okay, what it is that makes you feel good. What it is that, you know, your strength right now being the King of Pentacles, and your future self, it's letting you know that this would be like, I don't have your money's not together, you feel alone, you feel lost, you feel lacking, right? And that's why the stable card of Taurus is here, is to let you know that, like, you are grounded, okay? You are the bull, in a sense, during this time. Obviously, earth sign could be important to this process that's giving you strength. You know, maybe they're showing you, or you're showing them about strength. Now, when this just has to do with you, it's like, because this is your strength right now, you're handling the situation. Okay? Your money's probably fine. You got your bills paid, whatever. I see it's important to focus. Your strength is also to focus on the long-term goals. That's what this person, that's what Taurus is all about. Okay? And the more that you do that, the more that in the during this time, the more in the future, basically, you get to work with new people. You know, you get to learn how to ask for help. You know, you are able to be aware of where you've been stuck and no longer being stuck in that. Okay? And moving forward, this is your future position, moving forward in a really successful way. And how you're able to do that, it's really awesome. How you're able to drive that chariot is, this is the undercurrent, is you no longer feeling stuck, you know? You really looking at a situation and understanding that, and there's your card. Okay? You understanding that you also go from the Queen under here to the King in the future, so that's a progression. Okay? There is more masculine on the board, and the undercurrent are all females. So it's sort of important right now. It's like that empowerment to, and it's why it's all red too, just like the Emperor. It's like, I don't have to be afraid to express who I am, how I think, what it is that I want, where it is that I want to go, what isn't enough for me. Again, what my boundaries are, you know, because I heard life's short. So it's really important to pick your head up, okay? It's really important to have faith in your choices. Have faith in who you're being vulnerable with right now, okay? The people that are there's such a difference of feeling when you can be vulnerable with someone, okay? And you can feel safe in that. I see that sunshine is very important to this. Any of you who have strong Cancer in their chart also, I've been telling Cancer for the last few months to wear yellow. And I actually was doing some reading the other day, and it said that to wear yellow. So you have this also, okay? In a way, I also sense that with the Emperor here and the cards just came out, there's something about, like an Emperor isn't going to tell everyone about their, like, all their things, right? It's sort of, that's part of the, well, I heard control, but it's more, I guess I also heard the word reserve. So there's something about a reservation to where it is that you want to go. And when I heard reservation, I also thought of like a restaurant where you would call. So there's a communication, and then you set like a date, right? And a time. There's a distinctiveness to the path. But I heard not everybody needs to know about it. I was just holding my breath, so there may be something about like a little bit of concern. And a little bit of during this time where you sort of lose maybe the feelings, what it is that you're working through actually is the term. It's important to keep focus on the future, okay? It's really important to have the wherewithal, the gusto as you move forward, okay? With the whole ego wanting you to open your heart also, there's another message that came about your ability to know that some of the boundaries that you've had actually, you know, they can be really healthy, right? Health can be good and bad, etc. But it's like you are safe, you are loved, you are protected. And when we know that we have faith in the situation and where it is that we're going, that's how we can be more vulnerable, okay, during the transition. I also heard the word paperwork. Oh, interesting. And there's still a little bit of, there's still some elements of the situation, and I heard the word contract, that are hidden, like they're not seen yet. But the reason why that is because this is in the future. So right now you're sort of walking in this world. And what happens is you have to, the more you open your heart during this time, the more you let your ego know that you're not afraid, that you're not afraid to expose yourself, to be yourself, to have faith in what it is that you've gained throughout life, your experiences, right? Once you do that, then this comes 4, 5, but it's in the reverse. It's wonderful. It's like this comes as a test of sorts to be like, do you want to put yourself in this? Do you want to put yourself in this position? Do you feel like you deserve to be uncomfortable? And I see that you're going to say, no, I don't deserve to feel uncomfortable. And then you'll move along. That's how you actually move along. The smoothest way is when you really know for yourself what's good for you. You know who you are. And I see that this transition also could bring a little bit of a lesson about give and take. You know, maybe that's why this myself earlier expressing help was just 1919. You know, asking for help when you need it. Particularly, I see financially, that's okay to also, that's another part of intimacy or vulnerability, is like, I need help. You know? And it's interesting, actually, when you figure out how to be that kind of vulnerable, is because you finally figure out what give and take means. And I see that in the end game, it will be fair. Okay, you will have enough. That there will be love, that there will be stability, that there will be structure in this situation, okay? It is important during this time to keep faith though, okay? To know that it's all just part of the karmic scale. Okay? You're balancing it out, but not in you're doing it in such a way where you're letting, it's an acceptance of whatever is imbalanced and a appreciation for what is balanced. Okay? All right. I love you so much. Talk to you later, Gator. Bye.